Oh, it's going to be a while now. Good morning. Oh, I didn't get any response. Hello, hello. Good morning. That's it. Good morning. Good morning. As Kathy just said, that extra hour's sleep just has invigorated all of you. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Greater Naples. My name is Tony Fisher. So happy to serve as your minister here. I am especially grateful for all of you, for everything you do, for being here, for being out there online, for being on the pavilion. This is a wonderful community of people, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of it. I want to especially express my gratitude for anybody in the congregation here, or anybody at all, who's been working at the polls these past weeks. So is anybody here that's been, I know there's a few of you, Heather, I know you've been working on the polls. Who else has been working at the polls? Raise your hand, stand up, stand up. What an incredible gift you have given to our society, a presence at the polls, and so I'm so grateful for all of you who do that work. It's not easy. I know I've heard some stories, and it's unfortunate that we have to sort of stand out there and sort of wave things, but that's the way it is, as there are other voices that don't represent the values that we hold. So thank you all very much. I'm grateful as well to have Kathy Summers back here in Naples and jumping right into being worship associate. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you, Tony. I'm Kathy Summers, and I agree with Tony. We went to vote the other day, and people couldn't have been nicer or more helpful. Meade was pushing his walker. They let him sit down. They let me help him. It was a I was a little afraid coming to Florida to vote, but but it was a wonderful experience, and I'm glad it's behind me. Welcome, everybody. If you got here an hour early, I hope you had a nice chance to meditate in the garden. I want to welcome all of you, old friends and new, as we come together to practice the art of community. We're all growing and learning here, trying to live our deepest values out loud. We're especially thankful for those of you who have recently found your way to our doors. We hope we can help you find ways to connect with us that meet your needs. We hope that you find comfort, connection, and love here. I urge you to look at the back of your order of service, where you'll find our mission statement and our new vision statement, drafted by the congregation this past spring. Both say a lot about who we aspire to be. Now, let's relax and settle ourselves into this time of worship with a prelude.
This moment is beautiful, for we have gathered. For we have gathered in common purpose to do important work. To do important work that only we can do. This moment is beautiful, for together we recreate the world. Please join me in the chalice lighting words you'll see on your screen and in your order of service. Each day the first day, each day a life. Each morning we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and give back. And let's rise in body or spirit and join in singing our opening hymn, number 360 in the gray hymnal, Here We Have Gathered. The words will also be on your screen.
Step inside. May all who seek here find a kindly word. May all who speak here feel they have been heard. Sing and out together this our heart's own song. Here we have celebrate days of our lifetime, matters small and great. We of all ages, women, children, men, infants and sages, sharing what we can. Sing now together this our heart's own song. Life has its battles, sorrows and regret, but in the shadows let us not forget. We who now gather know each other's pain. Kindness can heal us. As we give, we gain. Sing now in friendship this our heart's own song.
Please be seated. So, what's been on your mind lately? Have you had a hard time focusing? Sort of been lost here and there in occasional, I don't know what. I know I have. I found it extremely difficult to focus this week on just about anything, which, as Anne will tell you, is not unusual necessarily. But we are sort of sitting with something that is coming up this week, and it's been hard, I think, for all of us, whatever our persuasion, to just sort of be and not be sort of wound up. So I wanted to sort of ask a few of you what you're doing to sort of relieve that sense of anxiety. Has anybody got something that they do on a regular basis that helps them with this? I'm going to go this way. I never go this way. Well, thanks, Roy. Yeah, go ahead.
It's okay. I swim for 1 hour every day, and I am just totally immersed in the water.
Immersed.
And there.
And there. All right. Excellent. All right. Who else on this? Joanne?
I'm actually making phone calls to get people to vote. It makes me feel better that I'm trying to do something.
So action helps you.
Action, yeah.
Action. All right. Maybe one more. Patty?
I walk my dog.
Okay. And that works for you, huh? Okay, yeah. Good. It was a little plastic bag, I don't know. All right, so I have a few other things that I think might be helpful for everybody this morning. So this is a tough time, but I have 5 exercises that I think will help sort of transform any moment if you can think about it and do these things. So first and foremost, if you have a spiritual practice, and there's a wide array of practices, then do more of that, because I think that's really important. Sometimes in the moment and we're anxious, we sort of sometimes leave that and just sort of do things that are not helpful. But if you have a practice, that it's really important to really do more of it, because holding yourself is important in these times. So the first suggestion I have for you is to express gratitude. So I want you to think for just a minute or a few seconds about something that you're truly, truly grateful for. Take a moment. All right, now at the count of 3, I want everybody to say what they came up with at the same time, okay? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Did you get that? Yeah? People are thankful for different things, but expressing it out loud, giving it voice, is also always very helpful and sort of feeling a little bit better about things. Expressing gratitude is really important. And studies have shown that doing that on a regular basis as a practice can be truly helpful. The second one, and I spoke to Joan Waldman about this morning, is being cheerful. Sometimes that's not always the easiest thing in this world, but if you actually go out, and many of us are cheerful by nature, not all of us, but many of us, and really work hard at just going out there and greeting people with a sense of cheer and gratefulness, of welcome, it makes a huge difference, not only in their life, because you've made an impact on them right away, but on you, because you feel better, even if you're faking it. You know, fake it till you make it, I think, is really the thing. So number 2, be cheerful. The third thing is to offer somebody the gift of listening. So you've got somebody you know who has the same anxiety as you, or other things that are working, because we all know there's so many joys and sorrows that are weaving through our lives these days. Take the time to give them the gift of listening, and not to give them solve their problems or give them an answer or what they're working on, just to be present. And that is such an important gift anytime. And it's a wonderful practice to begin to shift from broadcast mode to listening mode. And it's so powerful, not only for the person you're listening to, but for yourself. So number 3, the gift of listening. And the fourth thing is to offer a compliment to somebody. So Sean, that's the saxophone this morning was truly fabulous. Thank you so much. So do you see that smile on Sean's face? It's amazing what a little sort of sense of gratitude can do, expressing that and expressing something positive. So turn to somebody next to you and express something positive about your neighbor. All right, that's enough. Oh, I knew it. If I got you started, you just go on. All right. Give somebody a compliment. That's another thing. Finally, the fifth thing is to share your joy with other people. Now, you have joys. Obviously, we're wound up with this big thing, this big elephant in the, wherever it is, or the donkey, I guess I should say. But you each have a joy that you bring into this world. You each have a superpower, and just share that. Express your joy with somebody, and I think, again, it lifts you as well as the person that you're sharing with. So 5 things to take out of the room today. So when you go out of the room, then go share your joy with somebody on the pavilion as you are in the coffee line or or signing up for, there must be some things we're signing up for. What was it? Chalice circles today, signing up for chalice circles. So, yeah. And the auction. Lots of things to sign up for. So, when you're in your line doing that, express your joy. Now, there's always something out there that's going to sort of take your spirits to great heights or great depths. All you need to do is turn on the TV these days, and that can do it. But if we practice all these things and stay longer with that spirit of abundance that results in doing these things, and that often accompanies these actions, then we will be more resilient as we move through this week and every week. Let's remain seated and join together in singing a song that we all like to sing. Lean on Me. It's number 1021 in the Teal hymnal. Words will be on your screen. So follow the words on the screen today, and don't try to follow the order in the Teal book. The words are all there, but I think the order on the screen is going to be the way we do it today. And let's hope that it matches what Sean and Abby are hoping
When in
to
doubt, sing what I'm singing. If we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear, yet you can't carry, I'm right up the road, and I'll share your load if you just call me, call me, call me, lean on me, call me, call me, call me, call me,
All right, so there's a sixth thing you can do is sing. Did that feel good? Sean said the choir rehearsal's at Thursday at 6:30 for all of you. There's a lot of strong voices out there today. So let's take a deep breath and express our gratitude for this time together that we have each week, time where we feel comfortable enough to share those things that are running through our hearts. Nothing political, nothing event-oriented, just what's in our hearts. If you have a joy or a sorrow you'd like to share, please raise your hand. I'll bring you the microphone. Tell us your name and what's in your heart.
It's kind of an interpretation thing. I was a poll greeter at the Orange Blossom Library, and some people were walking by my little sign, but guess what? And with thunder in their heart. And then they came out. I said, "Thank you for your vote." And they actually stopped. The majority of them were very surprised and smiled at me. And then there was a couple of guys in suits. I said, "Oh my God, you really dressed up to vote, didn't you?" And they were like, "Huh." So if you smile a little, it goes a long way. So my other thing is, I hope you watched Saturday Night Live last night with Kamala Harris. And here's the statement we're going to say. "Give me your Pamela, and we'll carry on a lot."
Good morning. I'm Janet Parkhurst, and I have a heartfelt joy and a shout out to Janet Hoffman for her workshop we did a few months ago on how to communicate with difficult situations. And I went to see a client a couple months ago, and per usual, she had Fox News on. And we were in casual conversation, and she told me she was a lifelong Republican, which I thought, I kind of figured that. And through more conversation, we realized we both have a gay son. And all sorts of alerts went off, and I thought, oh, you should not talk politics in a work environment, and for the poor son, and this is important, and I'm thinking all the guidelines Janet had provided in our workshop. So I calmly reached across the table and touched her arm, and I said, "How can you support such a right-wing candidate when you have such a wonderful son?" And her mouth dropped, and she said, "They don't like gay people?" And I said, "Well, maybe you should watch a few other stations other than Fox." And so I went back 2 weeks ago, and another station was on, but nothing was said. And then I got an email from her son. He said, "Thank you, Janet. I'm about 15 years in with therapy and have had pretty severe depression following the 2016 election, which followed months after I came out to my parents. I was brought to tears when I heard about the conversation you had with my mom. My years of trying every angle to get through to her didn't work, but your words made it through with an afternoon session. To me, that moment of getting through to her was a priceless moment, and I am forever grateful to you. So thank you, Janet Hoffman, for giving me the strength and courage and tools to step up." And I'm sorry, this was a little late.
Can we stay away from political, please? Stay away from the political if we can.
I don't know what you just said, but I joined UU a year and a half ago because I needed the support from this type of organization getting involved in the Democratic Party, trying to make a difference. And this is an organization where people, when I'm there, people don't understand that I'm always right about how I want things to go. And when I'm here, I don't get that pushback because I don't raise anything here, and it's just nice to be supportive. So I'm feeling that same support today since I'm so involved in the activity. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Judy. Judy Friedberg.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Morell, and today is my father's birthday who passed, and my family helped me buy a new car. It's a hybrid, and I feel my father's energy coming along with me. He did take me to the UU, introduced me to the UU when I was a teenager, which I appreciate. But, you know, he was always telling me how to drive and save money on gas. And now I have a hybrid, and I'm learning a whole new way of saving money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Susie Riddle. I haven't been here in a while. I went to Ireland in September, my first trip out of the country since 23rd time. And then after that, I haven't been here because I finally got an offer on my house after a year and a half, and it just closed on Halloween, and I moved 1 mile away to Village Walk, Bonita, and it is so much friendlier. I was right all along. I just wish I'd done it sooner. So
Thanks.
I am great, and it's good to be back.
It's great to have you back, Susie.
Hi, I'm Marcia Gunther, and I am a week and 3 days post-op for my breast reconstruction, and I want to thank everybody for their support, especially Adrian Caddy, and I want to tell all of you to ask all of the women in their lives to get their mammogram, because it saves so much money and complications. And I'm so glad for all the medical care that I've received down here.
Thank you, Marcia.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Diane Keys. My sister and I, well, she had her first chemo on Thursday, and it was on the East Coast. It's a joy because she did very well. It was 6 hours of chemo, and the cancer center has a separate room for each patient, and so you can have someone in the room, and I was able to spend the day with her while she got her treatment. And we talked about, this is so amazing that this morning it talks about abundance, gratitude, and generosity, because that's what we talked about, how grateful she was that she found her cancer, and how, you know, we're so grateful for everything that we have. So it was just a joyous moment under the circumstances. And I want to thank everyone here from the care team who has reached out to me and has been so kind for everything. Thank you. So just continue to keep her in your hearts and prayers. Her name is Dahlia Hannah.
Thanks, Diane.
Hi, my name's Bill McCormick. I have sad news. Harlene Richardson, who was one of the founders, passed away during sunset over the White Mountains in New Hampshire on Friday. It was not unexpected. Just so all of you know, she was the person who had the seminal idea for a garden when they had the domes building, and she was always imploring us during the years that I was working with her here, never to expand a garden because you have to deal with weeds. So we have a constant battle between the weeds and how many people are available to weed. But Harlene was always a happy person and just a joy to work with every week. It was kind of my salvation to meet her after my first wife passed away, and I got onto her garden crew. So we'll miss her, but every time you look in the garden, if you see the red pump, that is actually a little memorial to her because of her roots up in rural Maine. So that's the story.
Thank you so much, Bill. One more.
Hi, I'm Jerry Manning. I have a mischievous joy that I would like to share. When I go into our golf club in a clubhouse, invariably in the men's area, Fox is on TV, but there's a controller there. So I always change it to MSNBC. Just to get the message out.
There are many, many kinds of joys and sorrows. Thank you all for sharing, and let's also remember that there are those here who don't always feel comfortable speaking and who carry much with them. So our thoughts are always with one another in compassion as we weave this community together, individual by individual. Please join me in the spirit of meditation. Let this quiet moment be an invitation to be calm in the midst of the tumult of the world, an invitation to bring together thoughts and feelings, to find some center, some still point of perspective and peace. In this moment, in this space which has silently held so many hopes and fears, may we too face our doubts and questions, the concerns we hold for ourselves, for our loved ones, for the world. And in this moment, as we sit together, each with our individual thoughts, may we begin to recognize that we are not isolated from the community of life and spirit, but that our struggles connect us with the hidden struggles of others here in this room and beyond. As we come to see that in our deepest loneliness, we are not truly alone, may we be encouraged by that vision to release our own creative and compassionate energies, finding within the deep resources that have been there all along, as hidden but as real as our secret doubts and fears. As we ponder the gifts we might offer for the person sitting next to us or the one we'll meet for the first time this coming week, may we come to know that in giving to others we will receive what we need most for ourselves in this or any moment. Let's spend some time together in silence.
When Tony talked about gratitude, what came to mind, since we've had no air conditioning all week, was air conditioning. But when he counted to 3, I said friends. So, 3 Gratitudes by Carrie Newcomer. Every night before I go to sleep, I say out loud 3 things that I'm grateful for. All the significant, insignificant, extraordinary, ordinary stuff of my life. It's a small practice and humble, and yet I find I sleep better, holding what lightens and softens my life, ever so briefly at the end of the day. Sunlight and blueberries, good dogs and wool socks, a fine rain, a good friend. Fresh basil and wild phlox, my father's good health, my daughter's new job. The song that always makes me cry, always at the same part, no matter how many times I hear it. Decent coffee at the airport. The stories you told me, the frost patterns on the windows, English horns and banjos, wood thrush and June bugs, the smooth, glassy calm of the morning pond, an old coat, a new poem, my library card, and that my car keeps running despite all the miles. And after 3 things, more often than not, I get on a roll and I just keep going. I keep naming and listing until I lie grinning, blankets pulled up to my chin, awash with wonder at the sweetness of it all.
I've got a roof over my head. I've got a warm place to sleep. Some nights I lie awake counting gifts instead of counting sheep. I've got a heart that can hold love. I've got a mind that can think. There may be times when I lose the light and let my spirit sink, but I can't stay depressed when I remember how I'm blessed. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. In a city of strangers, I've got a family of friends. No matter what rocks and brambles fill the way, I know that they will stay until the end. I feel a hand holding my hand. It's not a hand you can see, but on the road to the promised land, this horn will shepherd me through delight and despair, holding tight and always there. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I duly grateful. It's not that I don't want a lot, or hope for more, or dream of more, but giving thanks for what I've got makes me so much happier than keeping score in a world that can bring pain. I will take each chance, for I believe that whatever the terrain, our feet can learn to dance. Whatever stone life may sling, we can moan or we can sing. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. Truly blessed and duly grateful.
Thank you. It's hard for me to imagine, and I assume that's true for you as well, to be truly focused on those things for which we're grateful without letting go at least of some of those anxieties and frustrations and fears and angers that we're holding, be they personal or societal. Anne came home yesterday from a very active day and told me a story that Sensei Lori Lyons shared in her Meditate and Create session yesterday, early afternoon. It's a story that sort of echoed in my mind. I know I'd heard it. It's a wonderful story about being able to live fully in the sense of abundance. It's a story about a famous Japanese Zen Buddhist monk who held the esteem of the people of Japan. He was a wonderful storyteller and calligrapher, a poet of note. He lived very simply and owned only the robe he had on his back and a bowl that he used to seek food. One evening, a thief visited Ryokan's hut, Ryokan, the name of the poet, at the base of the mountain, only to discover there was nothing there to steal. At that moment, Ryokan returned to his hut and found him there, standing in the middle of the room, looking about for something to take. Ryokan said, "You've come a long way to visit me. You should not return to where you came from empty-handed. Please take my clothes as a gift and my bowl." So he removed the cloak and handed these, and the thief, bewildered but obviously uncomfortable, took the clothes and the bowls and slunk away. Ryokan went outside, looked up at the moon, and mused, poor fellow, I wish I could have given him this beautiful moon. It's hard for us in this day and age to live so simply and to think so simply, but imagine having that sense of abundance. Our service today reflects on the important values of abundance, gratitude, and generosity. Gratitude and generosity often seen as two sides of the same coin. Each and both can be cultivated as a spiritual practice and together they might develop a stronger sense, a fuller sense of abundance. Spiritual practice meaning only that if you practice gratitude and generosity with intention and do it regularly, you will begin to change the way you feel and the way you think. This was certainly the hope of the great sages whose words and deeds served to launch the religions we see and still see about us in the world today. In 4 distinct geographical areas, China, the Indian subcontinent, the Middle East, and in Greece, thinkers, philosophers, spiritual leaders in each of those areas began to think and teach about how they might counter the violence and great divisions of their societies. For each was indeed experiencing wars and divisions among peoples. They hoped to create a new way of being rather than the endless round of violence. The Upanishads in India, texts written by Hindu sages from between 800 and 500 BCE, contain teachings on the unity of all beings and the importance of self-knowledge and inner peace. And these teachings may have helped shift the focus of the people away from external violence towards inner transformation. And the Buddha, writing at the end of that period, influenced by the same societal turmoil, saw gratitude as a preparatory step for the cultivation of compassion. As a thankful mind naturally extinguishes anger and leads to more positive emotions. Dana, or generosity, is foundational to the practice of Buddhism. And about that same time, the Hebrew prophets were emphasizing the concept of tzedakah, a word that literally means righteousness and refers to the act of giving to those in need. The early prophets emphasized the importance of tzedakah as a way to fulfill one's moral obligations and to serve God. In China, Confucius, who lived and taught about 500 BCE, believed that cultivating virtues like gratitude, generosity, and kindness was essential for both personal development and social harmony. He wrote, "As heaven and earth nourishes all lives graciously, human beings should act similarly to others. To give is therefore part of our daily duty as human beings." And in the Republic, written about 400 BCE, Plato argues that justice and virtue are the highest forms of happiness, and that generosity and gratitude are essential components of these virtues, adding that true happiness comes from living a virtuous life, which includes giving generously to others and being grateful for what one has. In all these areas and imaginings that had developed over time, in all these areas, ideas and imaginings that have been developing over time and had come from living in a difficult world coalesced into the beginnings of the religions we know today as Hinduism, Buddhism, Confucianism, and the Tao, Judaism, and ultimately the other Abrahamic traditions that followed, each responding to a violent world, each working to change the ways that people related to one another and to the world. The fact that human beings have used religion as a wedge does not undo the underlying values that are the foundation of any worthwhile worldview. And if you think about it, our new Unitarian Universalist values and covenants are written in response to an ever more divisive world, but also from the point of view that there can be enough love and enough goodwill and enough common sense so that we can work together to make this a better world, a different mindset. Our associational covenants have been infused with a bit more emotional content, centering love and putting generosity on an even plane with justice and equity, pluralism, transformation, and interdependence as core values. The truth is, however, that we, individuals, even if we're Unitarian Universalists, are not immune from scarcity thinking. Like all creatures, humans have a powerful instinct to survive. We're always looking to make sure there's going to be enough for us and our loved ones. Enough to make it through to what? There is often a disconnect, therefore, a struggle with this feeling of scarcity and our response, which sometimes is to retreat and take care of only ourselves, is disconnect with those values that we espouse, the wonderful principles written from the attitude of abundance. So what do? We do our self-work. We stop. We know where we are. We think about where we are. And we work to build within ourselves that sense of gratitude, that practice of generosity, that way of interacting with our neighbors and our friends and our loved ones and even those who we don't know. And as we nurture that center, we're nurturing it not just for our own sake, but for those that we interact with, so we can come together here in a place like this and share our strengths, engage one another with joy, engage our neighbors with kindness, engage the world with our strongest values at the fore. Here in this place, we are responsible together for creating a safe place where we can share our grief, where we can share our frustrations, but then turn those feelings, transform those feelings into positive and creative energy, which seeks to find the possible in the midst of the tumult, always asking, what is the path of gratitude and generosity? The words of our closing hymn, which we'll sing in just a bit, asks, what gifts can we bring to truly work towards the common good, as long and as hard as that path may sometimes seem, requires that sense of gratitude and generosity that in turn creates a greater delight in the journey, a joy in the effort. Even the smallest step towards the common good, taken with love and intention, taken as a practice, stretches our generosity muscles and rewards us with the joy of knowing we've made that effort and we're giving back some of what we have received. Two sides of the same coin. Gratitude, generosity, a practice that is wonderfully beneficial to giver and receiver alike. All that is so much easier when we have a place like this, a community like this, where we can come and look into each other's eyes and know we are loved. We can come here and remind each other of the best aspects of being human, of fairness and trust, of generosity and kindness. This place that can be both our safety net and the strong foundation from which we can lean forward into whatever comes next.
Thank you, Tony. It's time to stretch your generosity muscles. The offering we take each Sunday is an opportunity to recommit to this place and to all the people here. It is as much a ritual as singing together and lighting our chalice. It's a reminder of that form of love which we call generosity. Your financial contributions support our mission to grow intellectually and spiritually. Your generous support enables us to build greater peace, justice, and love in our congregation and in the world. For those online, a contribution can be mailed to the address on the screen and also by using our website at uunaples.org. We are truly grateful for all the gifts received.
beyond a river to an ocean, a concrete sky and a stone cold sea that came to where the emptiness cracked open, and all my fears came crashing through and met the fire of my sorrow. But I found my strength in forgiving you. I never even dreamed how far my heart could go to give my life beyond each death from this deeper well of trust, to know that if there's nothing left, you will always have what you gave to love. In this life, the love you give becomes the only lasting treasure, and what you lose will be what you win, a well that echoes down too deep to measure. A silver coin rings down that well. You could never spend too much. A diamond echoes deeper still, and you'll always have what you gave to love. Yes, you will always have what you gave to love.
Thank you, Sean. Beautiful. I have a few quick reminders about what's going on, partly this week and other times. The first thing I'd like to say is we have a silent auction coming up December 14th, and we really need you to contribute. We need things as little as walking somebody's dog, dinners, a weekend at your condominium. Don't have to sleep together, but anyway, can be a condominium you're not using. Parties, gatherings, whatever. So see John Pipkin for that. After the service today, around 11:20, we'll hold an orientation here in the sanctuary for anyone who'd like to find out more about this congregation or about UU, Unitarian Universalism. Second one, election anxieties. Monday night, Reverend Tony Fisher and the Interfaith Alliance and other area clergy for an interfaith evening of prayer for the nation. The event will take place 7 p.m. Monday at St. John the Apostle MCC congregation at McGregor Boulevard in Fort Myers. On Wednesday, from 9:30 to 6, our sanctuary will be open for anyone who wants to come light a candle, or sit quietly as we either ponder the election events results or continue to wait for the outcome. The pavilion will be available for quiet conversation, and of course, our beautiful gardens are there to provide a moment of peace. Coffee and tea will be available all day. On Wednesday evening, the Wonderful Wednesday program will be led by Ann Fullerton, our very own long UUGN member, who will gift us with her journey as an artist, an arts educator, and a lover of museums. Come for fellowship starting at 6 with a short centering service, Vespers, followed by a shared meal and the program. Please let the office know if you'll be joining us for the meal. And next week after the service, you're all invited to join our new security team for an awareness training titled Identify, Protect, Respond with security expert John Murtaugh. Please check out all these details in your newsletters or news blasts. Okay, so now let's rise and sing together as we're able our closing hymn, What Gift Can We Bring? It's number 404 in the hymnal, and it'll be on your screen.
What gift can we bring? What present, what token, what words can convey it, the joy of this day? When grateful we come, remembering, rejoicing, what song can we offer in honor and praise? What thanks for the past, for those who had vision, who planted in water so dreams could come true. Give thanks for the now, for sun and for worship, for mission that bids us to turn to deed. This gift we now bring, this present, this token, these words can convey it, the joy of this day. When grateful we come, remembering, rejoicing, this song we now offer in honor and praise.
Each day the first day, each day a life. Each morning we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and give back. Go in peace, go in love. Don't forget to share your joy. Have a wonderful day.